guy from Time Out New York, I bought the first 2 volumes of the bilingual manga, the one that's published in Japan. Forbidden Planets, 13th and Broadway. As I said, the second floor is manga, and it's highly recommended. There's some of the window shopping in Forbidden Planet. Oh, look at that. That looks like a manga swap.
Yeah, the one we had.
That's the one. This is the picture taken by Time Out New York of the manga swap. Scurrilous little article.
Yes.
That mentioned you by name as a well-known pervert.
Yeah. Very, very nice.
For those who don't know, you want to explain what they did?
The phrase hatchet job comes to mind. The guy decided he actually wanted to interview someone about, and I should have suspected when the first words out of his mouth were, "Where are the tentacles?" In other words, basically he was right onto the subject of hentai and pornography, and I'm wondering, why is he asking me about this nonsense? Look around, there are kids here, we're swapping manga and anime, there's nothing going on like that. But I wasn't smart enough to stop talking to him and tell him to get lost. Fortunately, where I live, nobody even knows what Time Out New York is, so basically it didn't have any effect on my life, just annoyed me.
It's a good object lesson for when reporters come around asking anime fans about their hobby, or any hobby in general, really, to sort of, I guess, be wary.
Well, my guard was down a little bit also because that was around the same time that we had a college professor who was attending our meetings, Ralph knew her, and she was legitimately interviewing people.
Yeah.
And she did bring up the subject also in her interview, but she wasn't trying to do a hatchet job on anybody. She was actually doing real live research.
Yeah.
And, took me out for tea at a local restaurant and basically spent an hour asking me all kinds of questions and recorded the whole thing, and there was no problem, and I made the mistake of thinking that this guy was actually serious about reporting on anime and manga, as opposed to someone who was out to popularize the stereotype of violent porn cartoons.
Yeah. Well, when somebody from Time Out New York was looking for somebody to interview for their April feature on shopping for Japanese comics and toys, and they were looking at people who were telling me, "Watch out, don't do it." Time Out New York did a bad job on this. But their job with me was very nice. That came out very nice. It was good luck. It was good. Different guy, of course.
Yeah.
And it turned out he was a comic book fan.
Yeah.
It was a very flattering article, not flawless. Can't complain about it, really. Okay, so this is the Manga Swap, July 2007.
That might actually be me in the background.
Yes, it is. That's Charlie in the background with the red shirt. And
We may have another one. I don't know.
That's what I've been wondering, because I've got stuff here for the manga swap here, the swap meet here. But I prefer the Metro swap meet because this place has a very hard and fast rule about no cash changing hands.
Yeah.
I would just as soon, in some cases, swap it for a $10 bill or something, because that takes up a lot less room.
Yeah.
And that's really the space issues is what makes me, put stuff in the bag for the swap. But it's been so off and on with Metro.
Stay tuned.
Okay. Anyway, this is the just for the background. This was Metro Anime Club in their regular meeting place in Maui Tacos on Fifth Avenue, near the Empire State building, and this is the basement, which you usually rent for. And if we have another manga swap, there's a good chance it'll be here. There's a possibility it'll be somewhere else. There's a good chance it'll be here.
Is there any other place that manga swaps? Don't you know of?
I don't know.
I don't know of any either. I would imagine that some of the clubs, the high school or library places clubs is kind of harder because the whole library rules about exchanging books and stuff. But I would imagine eventually, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the high school clubs decided to do one. Kids accumulate manga. It seems like there's a progression, huh?
That'd be a good list to have.
It would be, yeah, it would be a good list to have. There's like a progression of fanish behaviors that go on and you form a club, you do a mini convention, and then you do a big convention, then you do a manga swap, and they might not be in that particular order, but they do happen, it seems. So down the pike, I expect some high school kids to say, "We're doing a manga swap."
Okay. I skipped some pictures accidentally because I hit end instead of page down. This is the Skylight Diner where Manga Meetup New York meets. Every fourth Wednesday or something like that. And also the anime meetup meets here on Thursdays.
Is the second Thursday of each month is the anime one?
I think so.
I think
Because I went to one.
Yeah. Anyway, the anime meetup is at the moment a much bigger group of people. Got hundreds on the list, on the internet list, and at least 50 show up in a given meeting. More than 50. This is Kinokuniya at night. This is a manga panel at Kinokuniya. This is the
Japan America one.
Japan America panel.
No, wait, no, that wasn't the Japan America one. This was a different
This is
one.
the Art Space Tokyo panel.
that
Yeah,
is Roland Keltz, the
Second from the left.
yeah.
Second from the left is Roland Keltz. So they do have
They've got
Kinokuniya is not just a store. They've got events, and they have these days they have event at least once a month.
Yeah, exactly.
And they have an event space on the second floor, right next to their cafe, where they have put up chairs and tables and have things. Whoops. What?
I said, I wonder what book that is. In front of
The book in front of back of everybody's nameplate is
Yeah.
Art Space Tokyo.
that. Okay.
This is Maui Tacos, where Metro Anime meets. This is the inside. This is an old picture, 2004, 4 years ago. This is a new picture. It hasn't changed much.
That's a new member. And that was a new member, yeah.
These are new pictures. This is Kinokuniya in the daylight. I find it very amusing they misspelled anime on their window.
Ooh. Oh, God, yeah.
Huh.
Just there, they have it on the other window correctly. Manga and anime, I should have flipped this. Manga anime on second floor, it says. This looks like there's a comic book store somewhere around there.
That's Midtown Comics.
Yes.
Is that the Times Square one?
It's the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You gotta go up a rickety little staircase there.
It's on 40th Street.
Second, third floor. I think they have 2 floors worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Should have flipped this.
All the comics are on the second floor, and all the...
And this is the MangaNEXT library. I took this like an hour ago. All right. That's the end of my pictures. That's the end of my presentation.
Right now, going outside.
Questions,
Questions?
comments,
Comments?
observations?
What about the Sakura Festival? Unless you mentioned that before.
It was briefly mentioned because the MangaNEXT people have a manga library. They take it to the Sakura Matsuri. We could talk about specifically non-manga and anime related things, but things that are related to Japan. I mean, that would be a panel in its own that are in the New York area. But there's this Brooklyn Botanic Gardens has a Sakura Matsuri every end of April, where their cherry trees are in bloom, and they have a big Japanese, cultural festival, essentially is what it is. They have performances, they have kendo demonstrations. You just sit around and look at the pretty trees, you can eat under them, have Japanese food, etc. What else?
They've had other special events too. This last one, they had the guy who wrote Manga for Dummies
Yeah.
was there giving a drawing demonstration and signing books and stuff. I can never remember his name.
I don't remember.
Kensuke Obayashi.
Oh,